Sorry, minor technical difficulties. Anyway, as I was saying, defensive advantage is very, very important, and recognizing when to take risks and when not to take risks is an important part of Overwatch. Okay, so again, in this situation, if you let the cart get all the way over to this choke, you're in a very, very good spot because there's only really two ways to get in, excluding the third, like this way, which is rarely taken. So you can control that much more easily than you can out here, where there's a lot of possible angles to get shot and attacked from. Okay, so you dropping down was a risk, and it worked out okay, but ultimately your team ended up dying because of it. And if you just played safe with them, right, played up here, you shield, poke people out, and then retreated as 5 to this choke, you would have been in a much better position than what actually ended up happening. Reaper's right here, pop Nemesis, so you should recognize, as soon as this happens, like, you know you're down 3. Okay, right, Soldier's dead, you're down 3 people right now, 2 spawning, and then 1 that just died. You should recognize, hey, can I win this fight or not? Obviously you can't, right? There's no way, basically no way that you can win this fight. Now, the next question is, can I get out? And if you think you can get out, then you can get out. But if you can't get out, you should just try to die as soon as you possibly can. That way you can regroup your team. Otherwise, you're going to stagger yourself. So what would dying as soon as possible be? Dying as soon as possible would be, I'm going to go on this cart, and I'm just going to attack the Orisa in her face, right? And just stand right here and just let her kill me. Because that's going to prevent the cart from moving forwards. Okay? And that forces them to kill me because the cart's not going to advance until they kill me. So that's just buying time. Right? Then I respawn and I run back with Nemesis form. The problem here is that if you end up trying to stay alive, but still end up dying, then you're going to have no chance at defending this point whatsoever. Because by the time you spawn, the cart will have capped. Which is exactly what's going to happen here. Right? So notice that you died right here, but let's think about when you could have died. You could have died right here. Is probably when I, if not a little bit earlier, I would recognize, like, this fight's not winnable, and I could have, or actually, Soldier dies right here is when I would have died. Okay? So this is 124 right now. So let's say it takes you 5 seconds to die. I think it's unlikely if you just stood still, but let's say 5 seconds. So that's 129 is when you would be dead. Instead, you end up dying at 135. So you die 6 seconds later, which is also relevant because the cart moves in that period of time as well. Versus if you died previously, the cart wouldn't have moved at all. So it's 6 seconds of extra time plus 6 seconds of extra cart movement. So that's 12 seconds of time total that you've lost to try to defend this point. And let's figure out if 12 seconds is going to make a difference, because I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, so starting from right here, we're going to jump forwards, and then we'll track once you get to the point, or could have gotten to the point. So basically right here, okay? 12 seconds. If you died 12 seconds earlier, and avoided the 6 seconds on the clock, right? You could easily have gotten, just 6 seconds alone would easily have gotten you to this cart. As a note. So that is a huge misplay by you. Your team is going to get picked sometimes. You just need to accept, like, your team will get picked sometimes. Don't, like, freak out about that. Like, that's a thing that's going to happen. But you making that problem worse by staggering yourself is the bigger mistake. Okay? One of those things, like your team getting picked, like, it happened. Like, sometimes the enemy team just hits shots, right? The Hanzo hits a shot, your Widow dies, it happens. But you willingly choosing not to die made the situation much worse. And that is an unforced error. That's not like someone headshot you out of nowhere. Like, that's like a forced error. But you choosing not to die, that's an unforced error, right? That's entirely within your control. You could have chosen not to die there. Okay, so now that we're playing Zarya, let's talk about bubble usage. Is this a good bubble? This is a bad bubble. Why? Because the Reaper can just stop shooting at you, right? Like, he's like shooting at you right now, but like at any moment in time he can stop shooting, and then you get no energy. And now what? Now you only got 20 energy. Wait, actually, I don't think the Reaper even fed you any energy, right? Oh, you pop bubble right now. So you got 22 energy out of this instead of 40, which is how much energy you can get if your bubble gets popped. Number one. Also, this didn't allow you to take any space, really. This Reaper was not going to be able to move up anyway with your whole team ready to go here. That's not like a critical moment where you needed to pin back the Reaper. Now Hanzo's here, and you pop a second bubble. Again, you should be at 80 energy now, but you're at 56. And now you have no bubble charges. And if I'm the enemy team, I know you don't have any bubble charges, right? I know you have one more coming up, and after that, I'm going to wait for that bubble to end or pop it, and I'm going to kill you. So you walk into the enemy team, and you have no bubbles right now, and you only have half energy, right? And you're 30 energy under where you should be. Right, you beat another Hanzo, that's good. You're playing very aggressively for somebody who doesn't have bubbles. Okay, like where is the rest of your team? Your Widow's respawning, your Torb is here, your Moira respawning. So right now it is a 4-on-3 because you just killed the Hanzo. And you are playing so far forwards right now. Like, what is your retreat plan? If all 4 of them collapse on you, you have no retreat plan right now. You go for the Moira. You're still going for the supports, despite the fact that you're very overextended and you're purple and you have no bubble charges. You get super low. All right, you pop bubble just to stay alive. Again, I think you really need to look back and just be like, hey, can my team actually do anything right now? They cannot. This is not the time, right? The Reaper's pushing high ground. You just need to chill here. Just chill, get bubbles, right? Get bubble charges. You go for the Moira. Okay, now you're really hard committing in. Again, as a general rule, tanks cannot kill a support if another support is healing them, excluding like Zenyatta and Lucio. Actually, I would say even Lucio, you can usually keep you alive between amp and boop, like usually prevents you from getting a kill. So don't commit on this thinking like, oh, I'm going to kill the Ana. Like the Moira is right here. There's no reason to believe that you would ever kill the Ana in this situation. If anything, you should attack the Moira. All right, over here, beaming. You get stunned and then you get killed, which is pretty much exactly what I would expect here. You are so far forwards right now. Again, look at where your team is. Right, look at the positioning. Look how deep you are. Right. Mercy's like trying to help you, but you're not really in a position that can really be helped. You're extremely far forwards. Okay. The Hanzo is also, notice that the Hanzo is like really preventing your team from walking up, your supports from walking up to heal you. Okay, like your Mercy wants to heal you. You can see that she's continually looking to try to get to you, but you're not giving her a line of sight, and the Hanzo is preventing her from going to the right. This is all on you. All you have to do is back up here and give them at least to this corner. Right? So, yeah, you're not really doing anything here. You seem like you're doing a lot of damage. All of your damage is not resulting in kills. A. B. The damage is actually end up getting turned into ult charge. And C. You end up dying. And you end up stalling the cart for just like a few seconds. And your aim's pretty good, right? It's definitely not an aim issue. Not for your level, not for silver. For silver, this is definitely better than silver aim. I think it's just a general like awareness issue. It's interesting that you talked a lot about your stats, but you didn't talk about deaths, and you're picking up a lot of deaths already. So, just looking at this, you're at 100 ammo right now. You've wasted 87 ammo. How did the ammo go up? What the heck? They went from 87 to 88. That's a weird bug. Alright, you're zapping. For the record, and I can already tell, this is not close enough to do any damage. I know it's like very close, but I just, from instinct of playing Zarya and you're not getting any hit markers, you know that you're not hitting. So you've wasted 27 ammo, a quarter of your ammo, without actually getting any hits so far on the Orisa. You bubble right here. Your Torb doesn't really need it. Like, your Torb's overloaded right now, so he's not, like, in danger of dying. You go for the Moira, which is a good call. You saw the Ana was super low here and standing in lava. You really should kill the Ana right now. Again, I'm actually giving you an extra 27 ammo, but you should be trying to kill the Ana, right? That just one right click on the Ana could kill her here. You're out of ammo. So you bubble right here, even though you really don't need to bubble. So you're at basically full health, and your Mercy was pocketing you a second ago, and your Moira is pocketing you right now. You do not need to bubble right now. So you bubble. How much charge you get from it? Just 20. Not even 15. Yeah, 20 right there. So that's not good, right? Again, not able to get full bubbles. And then, like, the thing is that Hanzo's too far away from you to do something about it. I think you just go right and deal with the supports. Torb ends up going down. Now you really want to chase down the Hanzo, but again, like, doing this means that your team gets pushed in, right? You see how you wandered in, right? Orisa goes in for your backline, kills. Moira fades over to you, and now the fight's lost, basically, because the situation's unstable. You, by the way, use right clicks to finish people. You get javelined. Everything kind of goes wrong here. So you get javelined, and then you could have just strafed to the right and try to get to the Mega. Or at least played. Like, even if the Orisa wouldn't have let you go to Mega, just play here and jiggle peek for 3 seconds until you get bubble, and then you could potentially kill the Orisa. Instead, you just run straight forward at the Orisa and die. Of all times to try to stay alive, that was a time where you should have tried to stay alive, because your team actually wins the fight over here. So, there's a great saying from A10, who's a top EU, I think EU, Zarya, it's like number one in EU, and has been multiple times, is bubble for space instead of charge. Okay? So wait, force them to fight you, and then bubble. So let me try to walk through. It's hard, like, you know, in this situation. I'm just gonna walk through what I'm gonna do in this situation. Okay, so first of all, I don't waste half my ammo walking up. I go up here, I go to this corner, and I start zapping, and I try to see like what the situation is. I don't think I really want to step forward here, to be perfectly honest. I think I just want to chill and just zap here. And then as the cart moves up, which is what ends up happening over here, now I feel much safer because the gap between here and here is shorter distance, so it's less likely I'm gonna get caught out of cover. So at this point, I start running. Let's imagine I'm Zarya, okay? The Reese is facing me. I just go past the Zarya and just start zapping the supports, right? I start zapping the Moira and then I pop bubble now, right? Zap, 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 and then I come back, right? This way. If the Reese tries to chase me, I keep zapping her and I see whether or not she's going to try to commit. If I see her use Javelin, then I pop bubble. If she doesn't use Javelin, I almost assuredly do not use bubble. And I know I'm going to kill the Orisa. As soon as 4 by ends, I'm going to kill the Orisa or force her backwards. Then I go back in, same deal, go after the supports, right? Pop bubble when I need it and do that. Right? Once I get to 80 energy, I basically only hold bubbles for when I need to stay alive versus using it to try to get any kind of charge, and I just kill people. Right? Once you get to 75, 80, you just kill everybody in the game. Like nothing can stop like full energy Zarya. Like you kill people so fast. Full energy Zarya does 170 damage per second. So you kill a support in just slightly over 1 second. Like less than 1.25 seconds, that support is dead. Or any 200 health hero is dead. You can melt tanks even of recent fortified form once you have full charge. Also, you could have grabbed at any point in time to make sure you won this fight. So I don't even know if you thought about using grab. Like you don't have great grab opportunities, but you're also not looking for it. And you very much could have lost this fight. By the way, over here, you could right click the ground. Right there to splash him. Oh my god, you do grab. Okay, so obviously Orisa spin eats grab, but this wasn't really a great grab anyway because the Orisa's fortified and all you would have gotten is the Hanzo. So not ideal. I think if you wanted to do that grab, you would have done that over here right now. Just grab right there, or even grab into the wall. To make sure that you get the kill. But I would say typically Zaryas are expected, like in that situation with high charge, you're expected to kill the Hanzo without needing to use ulti there. Alright, so you've done yet another hero switch, which is interesting. I think D.Va's actually a good pick here. I didn't improve the Zarya pick to begin with, but D.Va pick I think is very, very strong here, especially against their Hanzo Reaper lineup. So you waste missiles completely. Again, like really, at this distance, D.Va can't do anything, which is okay, right? Just don't expect to do anything meaningful right now. Don't try to. Oh no. Okay, so I was gonna say don't expect to do anything meaningful here. Wait for them to push forward and get closer to your team and give you opportunities. You're trying to force things right now. Okay, the whole team can see and hear you go. Right, you see the Orisa turns back right away. She's like, oh okay, I guess you're just gonna solo go. Again, look at where the rest of your team is. Like, you're about to fight a 4-on-1 because you come over here, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight. Yep, you get javelined, you're taking damage, your Mercy's pocketing you, you try to go away, your Mercy dies because she follows you in here because you're a madman. Again, like, this should not have happened. Right, your Mercy's like, oh, I'll try to keep you alive because you keep inting, right? Just committing just really bad situations over and over again. Mercy dies here, you go for the Ana. Again, don't expect to kill supports who are being healed by the other support. Now you're super low, you have no resources, you're down a support, you get ulted, and then I assume this fight's gonna go for a second, and it is. So, what should you have done differently? Let's clarify and make sure. Right? Instead of going in, you just chill, just wait. Okay? Because eventually the Orisa's gonna walk up to here, okay, and be fighting your team, and then the Ana's gonna be over healing, and then you can dive the Ana. But diving way in the back where the rest of your team can't help is what results in this going terribly wrong for you. You know, again, the Reaper on top of your team, something that you could have done something about if you played high ground. You get your Ana or Mercy killed, and then, you know, fight's over. Right? At this point, there's like nothing to be done. So you just don't know when to attack, and I would say to some extent also like the flow of your hero is not particularly good, right? Like we saw this on Ramattra a little bit. I think we saw it on Zarya a bit, but we really see it on D.Va now, where it feels like you don't actually know like the timing for when your hero is strong or weak. This is a really, really bad engage for multiple reasons. Number one, like you don't even care where your team is. Like it's very clear that you could have all 4 teammates with you, you could have 0 teammates with you. You're going no matter what. Like you full send it every time. So you go in right now. This is one of the worst possible fights to take as defense. Okay, they have close spawn. It has very, very awkward angles. You have no LOS in your team. Like your supports have to be playing right here to be able to help you. You go in right now, and again, same thing. There's 2 supports. They're able to heal each other, and like it's extremely unlikely you can get a kill here. You also have no ability to escape because you use boosters to get in versus just walking in. Then you waste all your missiles into a wall, right? You end up fighting the Orisa anyway. You're like, oh no. Orisa pushes you out. And now again, the Reaper, who's been killing your DPS all game long, continues to kill your DPS because you just do absolutely nothing to stop it. Right? It's like, where are you right now? You're all the way over here, just getting like blown up by the Orisa. You know, like literally, this Reaper does the exact same thing every single time. Where he just finds a flank, walks up to somebody who's not paying attention, and kills them. And if you just found the Reaper and pushed them out and peeled them first, that would do enormous amounts of value to your team. Now you lose back here. You don't even get bomb. And now you come back as Ramattra again. I think recognizing that D.Va wasn't working. I think D.Va could work. It's just you're just not good at playing D.Va. Okay, just watching aim right here. So 11 shots, 20 shots. Now we're at 40 shots, 50 shots. That's your first hit marker. So about 42. So you wasted 58 ammo on your staff before you got your first hit. You just can't do this, right? Like, you weren't even aiming at anything. You know, like you're just randomly, I don't know. You just look really tilted. Like, look at this. There's nothing there. Shield. Again, I don't think this is a great angle because they're just going to keep moving the cart. You have to force another fight on the cart. I think you should have just gone main. And you see how your team is afraid to peek? You see how they're all clustered here and afraid to peek because the enemy team has like angle control? If you come out this way, you put a shield, it allows your team to space out, right, and take more and more angles. You taking this very passive off angle is not good. That's not what you are as Ramattra, right? You are a frontliner. Dragon comes out, you pop Nemesis to not die to it. I think you should have heard the Dragon earlier. I can't hear the replay, but you should have known Dragon was coming right now. And at that point, I would have gone to the left. Because I would assume it's coming from main, right? He's not going to Dragon me alone on this side where I can see him. The Dragon has to be coming from main. You should have gone left right away. So that's another mistake. So it forces your Nemesis out early. So now you're not going to be able to do anything here. Reaper's going in. He's very clearly going to ulti. I haven't seen him ulti all game, right? So at this point, I'm like, he has ulti. As soon as I see this, I'm like, oh, shoot. And I have to deal with this. Okay? I have to fight him. Like, there's no choice. Even though I only do 60 damage a punch, like, if the Reaper gets the ulti off, we die anyway. So I run with the Reaper, and I try to kill him right now. Again, you don't try to do anything about that. Everybody dies. I mean, a lot goes wrong there, but I'm not even going to bother covering it because it's not worth it. It wouldn't have changed the fight anyway, but it doesn't appear that you were trying to win that fight. So another vortex where again I think you should throw it to the left of the Orisa versus on top of her. Your staff aim is just really bad. Like you're already half of your ammo. You haven't hit a single thing. You're at 2/3 of your ammo. I think you got 1 hit marker out of 100 ammo. So, it's hard to put pressure on the enemy team if you're not hitting them. You know, that is what happens. So, you go up here, you take a flank route, which is okay. Like I understand, kind of trying to pop Nemesis. I still would have tried to zap the Moira with staff first and try to force fade, and then you shield to shield off from the Orisa, and then pop Nemesis to chase the Moira down. I think that's the right call here, right? Run up here, zap, 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 zap the Moira, Okay, she probably panics and fades over here, then pop Nemesis, chase her down, and kill her. Instead, you pop Nemesis now. She's in no real danger to you unless you know that she doesn't have fade. Nope, she has fade, so she literally cannot die here. Reese is out of position though, which is great. Get the kill. Again, another vortex where you should throw it behind her. Okay, so not here, but here. That's a kill. Not headshot level, she fades away. This is another great lesson as to how you basically cannot kill a support who's being pocketed by another support. You have the opportunity to pop Nemesis here to stay alive. You should have popped Nemesis and just ran back to your team. But instead, you get picked here, and what should have been an easy win now turns into a much closer fight because you die. Oh, you get revived. Great. Again, you're not able to track the Orisa. She's running in a straight line. You miss almost every shot here because you're just not leading her. You're treating it like it's hit scan, right? It's projectile. You need to lead her. You throw another Vortex of questionable value. Again, you should try to coordinate Vortex with Nemesis, right? Throw Vortex before you pop Nemesis so they can't get away, and then punch them down. Your Reaper's in. Try to force the Moira out, which is okay. I think I actually would have gone to the left here because you can get 2 hits right now on the Orisa and the Ana, which I think is much higher value than doing for just the Moira. Because she's going to fade out anyway. Yep. Block. I think you're playing too conservatively there. I think that, well, yeah, I mean, I guess you're purple, so there's not much you can do. So you need to shield off right now. I think it's okay, shield. Stop shooting the Orisa when she's spinning. I think this Vortex is actually pretty good. You pop Nemesis. Yeah, I guess Moira's alright. Yeah, somebody else is hitting her. Great. Okay, you pop ulti. This is not a good time to pop ulti because I think I would have recognized that, again, you just lost. You killed one. So you have Moira, but you have rather your Mercy Pocket. Your Moira's faded back. You've lost the DPS. So now you're basically saying that, like, with 2 supports, I'm able to win this fight. I don't know if that's actually going to be true, but we'll find out. Well, the Orisa's not interested in contesting, which is interesting because she definitely could have contested this. So I guess this works. I do not think this is ultimately a good decision because I don't think at higher ranks this would work, but it works right now, so we'll say it's fine. Because there's no reason why the Orisa should have ran from this. Like, she's clearly way too preoccupied about trying to get out of the ulti, but in reality, like, she has full health here. Right, and all cooldowns. There's no reason to give this up. Plus, the Ana is still here. Like, she should have just stayed right here on the cart, spun you back, javelined you, right, and then stayed here, fortified when she needed to. Then the Ana could have stepped up and healed, and she could have stalled this for forever. You're very lucky to get a free push out of this. Oh, kill, or rather, point out. Yeah, another questionable Vortex. I think you should think about putting shields a little farther front, right? That way your Reaper can use them, and you can use them, right? I think you're generally like putting them like basically right in front of your face, and you should throw them a little farther forward. But not enough that the enemy tank wants to walk through it, but just enough that it's like gives you more space to work with it. So you throw this Vortex. But like the Ana's clearly going to get around the corner anyway. I do not throw this Vortex. I would have thrown it, if anything, at the Moira because I think you saw the Moira use fade, so she actually can die right now. Right now you see she fades. You see the Moira has like 1 health. You should be running towards the Moira. You should throw Vortex right now at the Moira. Okay, again, Vortex right here and a punch kills her. So you lose another opportunity for a kill there. Again, attacking the Orisa when she's spinning. Also jumping way too much, but I'm not going to fret about that. It's over. So, despite the fact that you see this Moira on your right, you don't attack her at all. She's like attacking your backline. Both of the supports are right next to you. You could have killed them both very, very quickly there. Then you pop Nemesis, and again, you're fighting the tank instead of the supports, who are literally on top of you. And you for sure can see and hear them. And you now really want to fight this Orisa, who you have 0% chance of killing with 2 supports here. I don't care if you're the best Ramattra in the world. There's literally no way that you could kill the Orisa in this situation. Yeah, this is throwing. this is just straight throwing behavior. Like, I think I'm just gonna end here because I think this is very like symbolic of the problems that you have. Representative. That's the word I'm looking for, not symbolic. This is very representative of the problems, okay? Again, both of the supports are right next to you. You can hear them. You saw one of them running towards you, right? Forget the sound. Like, even if you couldn't hear, like, you could see the Moira running at you right now. And you just completely ignore her to go after the Orisa, who, by the way, you can't even injure right now because she's spinning. Okay? Then, right? It's like you're still attacking her, despite the fact that you could have like killed or at least put a lot of pressure on either one of those. Also, your team is not here, right? Your team is all dead, dead or not here. So you're fighting a 3-on-1, attacking the only hero here who is unkillable. I think that sums up your problems in a nutshell. Okay, so let's summarize. Number one is just, I would say, your general execution slash like what to do. All right, let's separate them separate points. I say general number one. I think your general execution on your heroes is not very good. I think your Ramattra is okay, probably your number one. I think your Zarya is like number two, and then D.Va is like a distant third of the heroes that we've seen. So, but when I say execution, I mean you don't use your abilities well or effectively or at the right times, right? On Ramattra, again, we see suboptimal nemesis, shields, vortex, staff, horrendous accuracy on the staff all the time. On Zarya, we see lots of bubbles that don't get you any possible value, right? Just on D.Va, the missile usage is awful, the boost usage is awful. So yeah, on D.Va, you're just straight throwing. Like you could have literally been AFK and it wouldn't have changed defense particularly much because of just how poorly you played on D.Va. So that's number one. Number two, your general game sense, like when, or let's actually specify it as like the flow slash game sense, like when to attack, when to play defensive. You don't have that pretty much at all. Like your goal is come out of spawn and run at the enemy team until I die or I kill them, but usually I die. You don't look back for your team at all. You don't seem to think about enemy like or your teammates' line of sights at all. Like you're just sending it, just every single life, just full send. I'm gonna run at the opposing team, and hopefully that works. Which it doesn't. So those are your two biggest problems by far. And number three, I would say, is target priority. Again, often trying to attack the tank instead of the supports or DPS or anybody else. Yeah. Again, I think there's a lot of micro problems here to cover as well, but I think worry about those three major items first. Hopefully it's helpful.